Hello, everyone. This is Josh Vision, and I'm here to give my season 2, episode 1 and 2 reviews and discussion. So it's basically gonna be like a double episodes review. So in episode 1, we meet up with Uhtred and Helwig and Hilda. So basically, I believe for like the last couple of weeks, maybe months, the way the show describes it, like it's not really mentioned how much time has passed, but it seems like a good amount of time has passed. Maybe not a lot, but probably like a year or so, maybe two, basically, because like Ethelfled, basically, Alfred's daughter is basically a teenager at this point. I believe in season 1 she looked like she was like a preteen. So yeah, I would say at least a year or two, at most 3 has passed, but not that long. So we see Hilda basically stopping this prostitute whom Uhtred has slept with from stealing his sword. Uhtred is drunk and he's still miserable about the loss of his lover Isolde, which is understandable. Also, his follower, his best friend at this point, Helwig, is also been. You could tell he's been drenched with water, meaning he probably had a little bit of a rendezvous with the prostitute, around the town they were in. Hilda sort of gets them back on track to their goal, and as we know from season 1, Uhtred's main objective is to get back his lands in Bebbanburg. So we see King Alfred, and basically Alfred declares the fact that he's making his intentions of basically a complete unification of England known, especially towards northern England, which the Danes still have control over. So in regards to the Danes, we have this brother tag team of Siegfried and crap. I forgot the other. I forgot the other brother's name. I swear to you guys, I'll remember the guy's name for the next review. But either way, Siegfried and his brother, they have this territory, and this town. I believe it's a territory over in York, I believe, Northumbria. So they leave, and they leave one of their main guys in charge. But when they leave, one of the monks is able to sort of rise up the people's spirits and his other fellow monks to basically overtake their Danish overlords, and they are in control of the town basically. And they basically beat the holy hell out of this guy until Uhtred and company shows up, and they kind of save him from further humiliation and possibly death. So another thing should be mentioned, the fact that we see Uhtred and company, Hilda and Hilwig, meet up with Beocca and this other monk. And basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to form an alliance with this Danish Christian king, Guthrum, Guthred, who's basically king of Cumberland. But he's basically been captured and enslaved by Sweyn, who's like the son of Kiartan. So basically, Uhtred dresses up as an undead warrior, basically to basically shame Sweyn and the other and his troops of them not giving Ragnar the Elder, basically Uhtred's adopted father, a proper like Viking burial and all that stuff. And the way they killed him was um, Viking like. So they're scared by that, and that allows Uhtred to save Guthred. So Guthred and Uhtred get along quite well, but you could tell there's going to be some type of someone causing some dissension, especially when it comes to that abbot whom is over at Cumberland, that mentions about how he saw a dream of King Cumberland being the one to basically push out the rest of the Danes out of England, some crap like that. He was basically being a good old kiss tail. We meet Guthred's sister, who's extremely beautiful and really crafty, and she's taking a liking to Uhtred. Then again, most attractive women with intelligence and nobility takes attraction to Uhtred. But either way, you could tell they have something going on, and I believe the abbot told the monk, who was basically friends with Beocca, who was with Beocca during his travels, in order to get Uhtred to save Guthred, that he wants him to keep a close eye on Uhtred and Gisela, I believe, which is Guthred's sister's name. And yeah, so he's going to try to basically put Guthred against Uhtred in some ways, some shape, some form. I believe during Guthred's like coronation as king, we see him basically bow himself to the corpse of King Cuthbert, a former English king who died like 200 years ago. So that was interesting. I thought it was quite hilarious, actually, the way that Bioka literally was like, "Oh my God, it's the saint," and he just bowed down like he saw like a celebrity, like he saw like Michael Jordan or something. I thought it was hilarious, and even Hilda got a chuckle out of that. Besides that, we have Kiartan once he finds out that Uhtred was most likely the undead warrior. We see that he's aware of the fact that Uhtred's there, blah blah blah, and that now he's sort of planning on, okay, how am I going to kill this guy, or at least get him out the way, which leads us to episode 2. So Guthred is feeling the pressure of being the king because the abbot is really putting to his head the fact that Uhtred is starting to gain everyone's trust and belief and popularity. We see Uhtred the way he had a fight demonstration on one of the soldiers there. Everyone loves him. We also see how Uhtred is basically the one making. He's not really making commands, but he's making really powerful like moves and suggestions. Which Guthred is taking heed to. We see that Kiartan's men were able to basically infiltrate Guthred's his territory basically. At first, they were saying that they were loyal to another earl, but they almost killed Uhtred and almost took his eye. But thankfully, Uhtred's men, Helwig and the big guy with the mustache and the rest of them were able to save Uhtred at the last moment. So Uhtred, after that was done, he gives his warriors props, saying they have a lot to improve upon. But I mentioned before, he still gives them their props, and once again, he proves himself as a great warrior, to the people. So Guthred is happy about this, that Uhtred was able to repel this threat. But, basically throughout this episode, the abbot keeps on putting more and more doubt and fear and insecurity in Guthred's mind. So Guthred, instead of taking the initiative and basically taking out Siegfried and his brother's army, which was kind of dumb, that he tried to be like very Alfred-like in a sense. He tried to do negotiations, but like Uhtred said, and one of the other eldermen, they're like, listen, we have 3 times the men they have. Let's just take them out. Or at least beat them down, and we make like, the decisions or choices or whatever, instead of trying to negotiate with them. It makes no sense, And like Uhtred said, that really started to backfire. Now people started to look at Guthred a little cross-eyed in a way, a little like, dude, this guy's kind of weak, The abbot once again mentions the fact that Uhtred, due to his title of being an elderman, and the fact that he does have legitimate claim to Bebbanburg, and the fact that he has the support of the people and the soldiers, it won't be long until he might try to overthrow Guthred. And he did make a good point, but that's not Uhtred. Uhtred is very loyal. And even though Guthred has not known Uhtred that long, you could tell at least in my opinion, I feel that he should know him well enough to be like, yo, that's not his character. Like, he cares more about Bebbanburg than trying to take my title of King of Cumberland. Besides that, we see once again Uhtred and Gisela getting close to each other. Eventually, they sleep with one another. We see that at one point in this episode, Guthred actually sells off Uhtred as a slave, and he actually made an alliance, I believe, with Uhtred's uncle, basically, which I found to be very interesting. I think he also made an alliance with Kiartan and Sweyn, if I remember correctly, but I could be wrong. If I missed that, you guys, please write that below in the comment section. Yeah, so once Uhtred and Helwig, they're basically put on a boat and they're enslaved, they're slaves now at this point. Alfred is told about this by Hilda, who's able to go to Wessex and tell him. And Alfred's like, well, I want to help him, but I don't know where he's at. He's very pragmatic about it. And you know how Alfred's wife hates Uhtred just because he's a pagan. Even though he saved her life and her people's life so many times, it's like, whatever. Even like Alfred's daughter mentioned that numerous times, to the point that her mother's like, "Shush, child," which I found to be kind of hilarious and kind of messed up. So Bioka says that he will go find Uhtred until the end of time. He'll do everything in his power. And then he's like, but how can we like figure out where he's at? So Hilda mentions, either Hilda or Bioka mentioned that Ragnar, basically Uhtred's brother, adopted brother, may know how to find him. So therefore, young Ragnar and Brita are brought out of prison, and they have this quick discussion about profit, how to make money. And young Ragnar's talking about how war is how you make money. And basically, Alfred's like, no, war is where you take money that's not really yours. It's through trade and peace of the land that you actually make money. So after that little lesson in economics and politics and whatever, he basically tells young Ragnar, I got a job that only you can do. I need you to find your brother. So that's basically how, episode 2, episode 1 and 2, my episode 1 and 2 reviews, basically. I would give these episodes like an 8.5 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10. Slow pace, medium pace, but I'm liking where it's going. But yeah, if I missed anything, please write some comments down below in this, in the comment section as always. And yeah, thank you guys for watching my review. Adios.